What's going on, everyone? My name is Benjamin Nowak, and this is the story of the second biggest bass that I've ever
Staring at those city lights. Had some ugly days to get some pretty nights. Cut some people off, dreams take a sacrifice. Yeah, they wanna make it, but can never pay the price.
So guys, there's a lot of footage missing from this clip, and you gotta understand. So let me give you guys a little bit of backstory. This clip, all of these clips, come from when I was down at the FLW Tour event on Lake Chickamauga. Lake Chickamauga is known for giant bass, and it resulted in me catching my second biggest bass in my life, as well as my first glide bait fish. And that's what the story is going to be talking to you guys all about. So basically, when I'm down at these tour events, I'm filming pro fishermen. I'm filming them on the camera that you guys are seeing me on right now. Well, what that means is I'm responsible for a lot of footage. I'm responsible for not losing things for the pros. And in the heat of that moment, I cleared my SD card, this camera right here, that had a bunch of my reaction footage of me catching these giant fish, which makes it for a really bad storytelling ability when you don't have the footage from the main camera. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to talk to you guys through this just a little bit, and then I'm going to show you guys the actual fish catching footage. So first things first, I was down there for that FLW tour event on Chickamauga, and my buddy Caleb Bell, I was staying at his house, which Caleb Bell has a YouTube channel, Bass Quest. I'll leave a link down in the description below. But you can go check it out. He catches a lot of really big fish, both on Chickamauga and Nickajack, and all the surrounding lakes down there. Well, he is a swim bait expert. So we went out on Nickajack during one of the FLW tour event days, and he had me throwing a big glide bait. When I say big glide bait, I'm not talking like giant, but I'm talking like a Savage Gear 185, a 7.5-inch glide bait, which is something I have no confidence in. I've never caught a fish on a glide bait before, so throwing this bigger than average bait was a little bit uncomfortable for me. Well, on my second cast, I make a cast away from the boat, and I'm gliding this bait, and I see this head just kind of come up behind it. So I stop the bait, head kind of comes up behind it, and as soon as I go to twitch it again, the smallmouth eats it, rolls on it. Now, this is a 4.5-pound smallmouth bass, my very first glide bait fish ever, and I caught it within 5 casts of throwing this glide. So it was insane, a lot of chaos, pandemonium. I don't have that fish on footage, but here's a photo of that 4.5-pound smallmouth. Well, we keep fishing along, and I'm fishing the Savage Gear 185 again, and Caleb spots a log in the water, and I'll just overlay the footage here, but this is my second glide bait fish ever. First day throwing it, second glide bait fish. It's insane, and I couldn't have done it without Caleb, and you'll see why here. Right here, right? This one?
No, straight up. Like a dark spot.
Yes?
90 degrees, yeah.
Big, dude.
Watch it. Drop it down. Drop it down. Straight to me. Straight to me. Straight to me.
Oh! Yeah, dude. Holy smokes, man. I held it there.
Yeah, she just go selected it, did she? Right off of me.
Dude.
She said, no. Nope.
Look at this fish. Caleb goes, dude, there's a lone stick up off the end of this log over here. Cast it over. I can see the dark spot. So I cast it over, reeled it right to the edge of that little stick up, and then killed it. Just held it there. And I literally just waited, and that fish started pulling back on the rods, and I set the hook. What a giant. I mean, that's a bad fish for sure.
Oh, yeah. She'd be every bit of 6.5, 7. If she was not spawned out.
Man, I'm shaking. Thank you, fish. There she goes.
Nice.
Dude, good job, dude.
Nice work, my man.
That
Ben,
is so
do you
cool.
fish glide baits? Are you from California, Ben?
That is so cool. So I've now been throwing a glide bait for 1 day. Now I have a little bit of confidence because Caleb put me on some fish, but it's still not a bait that I'm like super familiar with. But I want to learn this. I want to learn glide bait fishing. I want to learn how to fish those bigger than average swim baits. So I just keep throwing it around. Well, day on Nick Jacket ends. I go to the weigh-in, get everything done. I format this card. Format it. Don't have any of that like talking segment that makes a video what it is. So basically all I have from the day is that one big fish catch, which is cool. It's sweet, but it doesn't really tell the story. So that's why I included it in this video. Plus this video wouldn't make much sense if I didn't include that fish catch. Now, it's day 3 on Chickamauga. I have James Niggemeyer still in the event. Well, he blasts off, and not 10 minutes after he blasts off, I decide I'm going to fish around Dayton Boat Dock. So Caleb let me use his glide bait, let me use his rod, reel, line, his whole setup, the setup that I was using before to catch all those big fish. So I'm fishing around, and I lose one about 1 pound, right? Like he eats the glide bait, doesn't get it good, the glide bait comes out of his mouth, whatever. Well, I'm fishing around, and I'm hoping for maybe like a 5-pounder, maybe a 5-pounder. And if that happens, I'd be super, super pumped. Well, I'm fishing around, and I stand up on this tall point, which you'll see here in a second, and I make a long bomb cast. Now, all I have is a GoPro. I don't have a chest mount. I have a GoPro sitting on the ground, pointing towards me. And I'm gliding this bait, and I glide it past a log again. There's a big log in the water. I glide it past that log, and I kind of just kill it. And then all of a sudden, it just starts pulling back. Now, if you guys have ever caught a glide bait fish, they just basically come up, suck it in, and pull it away from you. So that's what this fish did. I didn't know how big it was, but I knew it was big because it came up and head shook. And when it head shook, I thought, wow, that might be like a 5 or 6 pounder. But when I went to reach and move the GoPro to run down the bank with me, I lost all the rest of the footage. So all that you're going to have is the clip of me going to weigh this fish in, which I would never have been able to do if it weren't for a bunch of people on the bank. So the rest of the footage here, what had happened between me setting the hook and me weighing this fish in is this. I set the hook on this fish, and she head shakes, and I realize she's a giant. So I'm like, dude, there's no way I'm getting this fish up this 15-foot bank, right? There's no way I'm going to be able to get a 5-pounder up this 15-foot bank. I don't know if I'm jumping in. I don't know if I'm going in the lake. I don't know what I'm doing. So I realize I can sprint down the bank. So I sprint down the bank with this fish, pulling her with the glide bait. And there's this really low area, and I pull this fish up into the reeds, and I get my hands on her, and I'm like, oh, my God. This is a giant fish. And I don't know how big it is. I'm thinking maybe 7 pounds. But I'm like in awe. So I scream to the guys about 50 feet away. I'm like, guys, do you have a scale? Do you have a scale? They're like, no, we don't, but I'm sure we can find one. Well, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm not going to run around this big culvert to go and weigh this fish. I'm like, man, I might just have to let this fish go. And then this guy pulls up on a golf cart from Dayton Boat Dock, and we get a weight on this fish, and that whole process is what you're about to see here. So I hope you guys enjoy, and have enjoyed this little story of me telling you about my second biggest bass I've ever caught. I'm like shaking, man.
Where did you catch her?
Like,
She's got.
straight across. Is there?
Yeah, take it inside real quick. We've got.
For real?
Yeah. Are you gonna keep it, or are you putting it back in the water?
I just want to get a weight on it.
Let me get Philip here.
Is there water anywhere?
Hey, Philip. Philip, we got any scales? He caught that thing right here.
I get that fish, and she's been going around. I'm like, oh my God. Dude, like,
Is she on a bed?
No, I don't know, man.
You want to tell
I
us
don't
real
think
quick
so.
how Garmin helped you catch that fish?
Wait a second now.
I legit am a Garmin ambassador.
Oh yeah.
And,
God.
dude.
We didn't even hear you hollering or anything.
Well, I hit her, and I was like, that's big, that's
Dude,
big. And I just started running. I'm like,
We didn't even hear you
I
catch
don't know how
her.
you're
over
gonna
there.
catch
We just turned around and you're holding.
I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to run in the lake. I don't know if I'm going to slide in. I got to get
Oh
that
my
fish.
God,
But dude, that's like an 8.5, 9 pound fish. right? Or am I big eyeing it?
No, you're right.
I mean, this got to be 8 pounds, right?
I think it's a little more than 8.
I mean, that's
That's insane.
I'm shaking so bad, dude.
I saw you over there.
Well, I hit her.
We saw you. We didn't hear you catch her though. We just turned around. You're holding the fish. I was like, do you realize how far away we are to see how big that fish is?
I asked Philip if he had any scales. He said no.
I hit her and she
Where would you like him at?
It doesn't matter.
How about stand in front of your door?
I'm done.
Why don't you grab her and go stand in front of the door and they're going to use
I'm jealous.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my word.
Yeah, it's big.
There you go.
I think it's 9.
It's big.
All right, buddy. It made no happier.
It's tore up.
It's still shaking. Not with me.
Is Bill here? Bill here?
Guys are here.
Wonder if they'd let him weigh it up there.
Like one boat's still sitting right over here.
Mm-hmm.
If it moves, it's got
We're trying to find some scales real quick. Hey, are you with the FLW guys?
Yeah.
You've got
You have any
flash fish,
scales
you've got
that we weigh these
shellfish,
fish?
you've got fish in between.
Yeah,
all these
wait, right
owners
here.
are really taking
Up here,
advantage of these
fine.
opportunities. They're able to fish this style of fishing in their comfort zone. And
Hey, he's gonna wait on stage here.
Living the dream right there. Well, I'm telling you, one of the plastic boys would like to see that.
He's gonna bring some scales out.
They're gonna weigh it on the stage.
Wait on the
Are
stage.
you ready for him? Yeah, you can.
They're gonna weigh it on the stage.
that's what's going to happen. They're going to move forward. Some are going to move
I got 2
conditions like this. They don't have to be on top of
I didn't think she was that big when I hit her. And as soon as she turned, I was like,
You ready? Yeah. Okay. Pick it up then.
There is Lake Chickamauga in southeast Tennessee.
It's already 0.
Basically in the center of the lake. You wouldn't think it is, but it's a river type system. And,
dude, 9.5.
You said this is recording in it?
Oh my god, dude.
How big is it?
9.5.
Good job. All right.
Awesome. Awesome.
It's really a river system with backwater. Below the lake, they take off, you've got large creeks with, that feed into the main river body, and that's where the ledges are that concentrate the fish on the punch pond and the summertime. That they got in the same
Let me
area.
do one more with you back here.
I think I screwed up the catch, but I caught this 9.5 over there. I got this on looping mode, so it goes for 5 minutes. I hope I got it, but 9 pounds, 5 ounces, dude.
Let me get you back right over here real quick. One more. That's so awesome.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm gonna go put her off this dock here.
What's that?
Oh, slip in. Let's go over here. I don't know where to go. I don't want to bump her on the rocks either.
Yeah. She's good.
Dude,
Awesome.
thank you so much.
You're welcome, buddy.
Thank you, dude.
Yep.
So like I said, pure pandemonium. Now I don't have any of the footage of my immediate reaction, but it was unbelievable. Like, I was shaking the rest of the day, couldn't believe it. I basically just stopped fishing because I couldn't fish anymore. I couldn't get my hands to work. But it was amazing, and I couldn't have done it without a ton of people. The people from Dayton Boat Dock, the guy that came over with the golf cart, the people that helped me weigh this in. And FLW Tour, I have to thank you guys for letting me weigh this fish on the FLW Tour stage. That was like an unbelievable experience. But most of all, I want to thank my buddy Caleb Bell from Bass Quest. I couldn't have done any of it without Caleb, and so huge shout outs to him. If you guys don't already subscribe to his channel, I'll leave a link down in the description below so you guys can go over and subscribe. But thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you're not already, hit that subscribe button down below. And as always, thank you for watching. Take care, tight lines. God bless. Pursue Rash.